After heading down the dark, dingy passageway for a while, eventually I start to smell the pungent odor of dead fish. We return to the atrium. Ahead of us, we see another archway which will take us back to an upward staircase and eventually Lynx's and Riddle's quarters. Let's continue on through the room. As we continue through the passageway, everything's going normal until suddenly something drops onto my hood. I run my fingers through it and manage to peel off a cold, slimy object. I look up at the ceiling. There's thousands of the disgusting little black things up there. Leeches! Ah! The slimy, blood-sucking animals continue to fall onto our bodies as we panic more and more. We desperately try to shake them off, but it's hopeless. There's too many of them. They crowd around us, homing in on our presence from every direction. From the ceiling, the walls, the floor, everywhere. We've got to turn around. However, looking back the way we came, a countless number have started to crowd around the passage back behind us as well, blocking our only exit. We've got to get out of here, Kid yells. Let's make a run for it. I can't stand this anymore. I've got to get out of here now. I start to bolt down the slimy, leech-filled corridor as fast as I can. As the leeches continue to rain onto us, wiggling their way down our shirts, sucking our blood with their tiny teeth, I continue to run and run and run. We frantically scurry down the passageway, worried for our dear life. Squishing their damp bodies under my feet, I suddenly take a bad step and slip on one of them, sending me flat on my back. Ah! Coming up from behind, Kid doesn't seem to see me. Kid! I yell, but it's too late. Unable to stop in time, she topples over me, falling onto the leech-covered floor too. Surge! Standing up, we try to clean ourselves off, but it's useless. I'm barely able to get any of the bloodsuckers off before more and more begin to drop down from the ceiling onto us. I've never been in anything half as foul as this. Never! Ah! Oh no, two have squirmed into my mouth. They wiggle around violently as they latch themselves onto my tongue. Ah! I spit the mouthful out and suppress the urge to open my mouth and scream again, despite the sharp pain now into my mouth from the cuts they've left. Suddenly, something strange happens. The leeches all simultaneously begin to squirm out of my clothes, hair, and skin, heading back away from us. They travel a few feet down the corridor and begin to accumulate into some sort of mass. What the? As the last few leeches make their way over to the mass, it starts to form a humanoid shape. The figure solidifies moments later into some sort of blue monster, holding a huge scythe. The polished scythe suddenly comes arcing through the air, aimed straight for me. I instantly duck down low, hoping to avoid the used scythe. Alright, the scythe only managed to cut through my shirt, but still, that was too close. Hey Stubby, you call that a scythe? Kid yells. Come on, kid. It looks disturbed enough already. Let's attack it. I switch my knife around for a backhand attack as the demon grins a disgusting smile at me. The second I see it break his focus, I lash out with my weapon. However, my dead-on attack only seems to graze the demon's skin. What are you smiling at, freak? Kid yells as it gives us a twisted, fang-laden smile. I clean the sweat off my brow and try to keep focused. However, I can't help but notice the demon's eyes amidst all this. They've got such an unsettling quality to them, almost as though this thing harbors some sort of unimaginable intelligence. Wait, what am I saying? I can't get lost in the thing's mind now. Everybody knows this thing can trap you in a spear with their eyes alone. All of a sudden, the demon starts to mutter something. A second later, it bursts into flames. Within a few moments, the flames die out and the demon is no more, gone without a trace. What the? A vague uneasiness sets in as I look around. Not a single scrap of evidence remains from that entire encounter. Was any of that even real? We come to a branch after a ways. To our right lies a staircase going up, while the start of the dark passageway is directly ahead. Let's head down the passageway. We proceed through the dark passageway. Before long, we're greeted with a beautifully ornate set of doors on the right. These are the quarters of Riddle, Lynx's adopted daughter, but let's continue on through the passageway. After a little while, the dark passageway ends at a polished, robust set of doors. Lynx's quarters. Oh man, I can feel Kid's blood boiling from here, but let's go into the room. Lynx! What? Lynx is here! I rush into the room behind Kid, unsheathing my knife in a flash of adrenaline. Where is he? Beside me, Kid says, Gotcha. Were you scared? She asked, giggling. Oh sheesh, don't do that to me. Has Lord Lynx returned to the room? A high alto voice asks. Kid and I glance at each other, giggling. No, he isn't here right now. Ah, Master Surge, is there something I can answer for you? The statue asked in a pleasant voice. Or perhaps you'd be interested in this lovely gift I have for you. Huh? A gift? Only a modest token of my appreciation for you and your comrades. I present you with a personal invitation into the realm of the looking glass if you are interested. Wow, really? Yes, but we must hurry. Time is of the essence. I look towards the dark rippling surface of the mirror. Slowly I reach my hand out towards it. It feels like my hand is being submerged in water, passing straight into the mirror. Suddenly, there's a slight pull. I try to retract my arm, but the harder I pull, the further I seem to be getting drawn in. Master Surge, take your hand out, quickly! Just then, a crack streaks across the mirror. What's going on? Amidst my struggling, I see a crack start to streak down the mirror's glass. Save yourself, Master Surge, please, before I am forced to consume you. What? Kid starts pulling me, despite the increasing force drawing me in. I'm now up to my shoulder in this thing. On the count of 3, I yell. 1, 2, 3! We tumble backwards, falling onto the couch. I look at my arm in a daze. It's fine. Shaking myself off, I return to the mirror, now even more cracked since last I saw it. Link's planned to seal you all in the mirror, the statue says, sobbing. Each time it speaks, another crack seems to be running into it. This isn't all. I had alerted Lord Lynx of your presence long before you had known of me. Why? Lynx has already taken away everything I have. He refused to allow me to leave Viper Manor, coercing me to be the mansion eyes and ears, promising he would someday set me free. Hanging her head low, the Venus statue speaks in a quiet, solemn voice. However, it was simply another one of Lord Lynx's schemes. No freedom is worth stealing another's for. I would rather destroy myself than become another murderer. As yet another crack appears, a large piece of the mirror breaks off, falling to the ground. No, don't! I yell, grasping the mirror. A huge crack streaks across the entire mirror, preventing me from seeing almost any of the statue. The statue's lips can be seen moving faintly from beyond the now heavily cracked mirror, but no words can be heard. I silently bend down and gather up all the shards, putting them on a desk. I look into the kaleidoscope of reflections. Surge? From behind me, I hear Kid's voice. Let's go, mate. As I leave the room, I quietly look over my shoulder, looking at the smashed mirror. I stop for a second, hoping to hear a voice, but all I hear is silence. Heading back, we travel through the passageway, eager to shake this feeling of dread. After walking a ways, we come to a beautifully decorated set of doors on the left. This is Riddle's room. Let's keep on walking, though. Continuing on through the passage, eventually we come to a branch. We see an upward staircase on the left, as well as a stone archway directly ahead. Let's take the stairs. I follow Kid up the narrow set of stairs, hoping not to lose my balance. We've ascended the staircase. In front of us, paths extend in 3 directions. To the left lies a dark corridor, and the right path leads out to the terrace. This path also continues on ahead, but let's head left towards the ballroom. We continue through the passageway. After a while, we arrive at a beautifully decorated set of double doors. This is the ballroom. Let's enter. A countless number of candles spectacularly illuminate this huge room. An old-fashioned grandfather clock stands on the right, ticking away with a morbid stillness. I step into the center of the hall, looking upwards at the oil canvases shimmering in the low light. Okay, third one on the left, Kid says quietly. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. As Kid slowly pushes against the candlestick, it starts to move slowly. What's going on? I stammer, trying to brace myself. This entire room is slowly sinking into the ground, Nigel says. The ballroom is sinking? All of it? Suddenly, the room starts to fall much faster. Chills run down my spine as I look around, seeing the paintings smacking against the walls and the candles dropping to the floor. As I start to get used to the sinking sensation, my heart fills with a violent mixture of anxiety, expectations, and hope. What awaits us at the bottom? The frozen flame. Could it really be down there? Is this our Avengers' end? What if we actually take it into our hands? Kid, Magil, I wonder what they're feeling right now. As the room continues to sink underground like an elevator to hell, I start to hear Kid speak in a soft, meek voice. Sometimes I do struggle to win, even when I know I've already lost, just like that lady said. Why do I do that? Looking over at her, I realize this isn't the Kid I usually see. There, a faint, shy smile can be seen across her face. Suddenly, I feel something so powerful go through me. It feels like a wave of fire surging through my heart. Don't worry, we can't lose, there's no doubt. Whatever, Kid says beneath her breath, smiling faintly. Saying like those never make much sense to me. There's never a case where there ain't a doubt, not a single one. But, thanks, mate. She looks towards me with a meek smile. Looking at her, I realized there could never be another girl like her in the entire world, ever. The shy laugh she sported a moment ago has reverted into some sort of mysterious gaze. As I stare at her, she asks me, "Hey, what's up with you all of a sudden?" "Nothing. You just look like a different person there for a second." "Really?" she says in astonishment, tilting her head. "It's probably because of the frozen flame. We're getting close," Nigel says. His low rumbling voice causes the shadows of the room to tremble. "What do you mean?" Kid asks with a wrinkled brow. "Look inside of yourself and you will find the answer, kid. The struggle for your catharsis is upon you." "What in the world are you talking about?" Suddenly, a metallic grinding sound can be heard from all around us. The room comes to a stop, swaying a bit. "Guess this is our stop," Kid says with a hollow laugh. I stand motionless, staring at Kid and Majo in the dim, flickering luminescence. Suddenly, the organ comes to life. Looking back towards the monstrous thing, no one is even near it. Nevertheless, it continues to play a strange, twisted tune, the keys and pedals moving wildly on their own. "Sounds like a funeral march." "Just kidding." "Bad joke, Kid." "All right, let's do this," Kid says, taking a deep breath as she heads for the door. I glance at Majo, nodding my head as we follow her out. It's a funeral march, all right. Lynx's, that is. We start down the long, dark path in front of us. The air down here carries a thick stench of death. Somewhere further down this passageway, Lynx's subterranean hideout awaits. Kid's got a strange look on her face. I can't imagine what must be going through her head right now. Magil, on the other hand, I can never read him, but still, we usually talk a little, lightening things up. But right now, nobody's making a sound. I try to offer some conversation, hoping to avoid the increasing tension. So, what really is this frozen flame thing? No response. Just as I start to think no one's going to answer, Magil starts to speak, his low voice echoing throughout the stone corridor. It was said to be a gem which soothes all scars, granting eternal life to its owner. Or so people believed. The frozen flame is more than just an object. It is not of this world. It descended from the heavens long ago, part of a huge meteorite. Once there lived a people who sought to harness its power, hoping to tap into their yet unknown potential, and so it became a treasure of great importance and dreams. However, whether a gift which bestows power is actually a blessing or a curse is another question altogether. Since the birth of humanity, at least one entire race has fallen because of it. These people once built a great thriving metropolis with its power, but now all knowledge of this area has been completely lost within the sands of time. A faint feeling of distress comes across Magil's voice throughout his speech. "But then, how do you know about all this?" I ask. Again, no answer. Keeping silent, I continue walking. Our footsteps once again become the only sound filling this dark path. "Well, whether any of that is true or not, it'll lead us to the same place. Say your prayers, Lynx. We're coming for you. That's all I know, and that's plenty." The frozen flame. What in the world could Lynx see in that mysterious rock? Flooded with thoughts, I pause for a moment to take a deep breath and calm myself. Continuing on a moment later, I feel as though I'm a bit more at peace. Suddenly, Magil comes to a stop. "Do not move." "Huh?" Kid and I look around suspiciously. Around us, bones are scattered in all directions. Many of them have been cut cleanly in half. Looking around more, amidst the dim light I start to see that the walls have been splattered with blood. Then, suddenly, a trace of light catches my eye from behind. There's a bolt of electricity approaching us, sparkling like a lit fuse on the ground. Coming within a few feet of us, the spark splits off into two, forming a circle around us. Once the circle is complete, an odd glow starts to shine at our feet. Then from where the sparks of traced light shoot upwards, forming a wall of light all around us. It's a devil circle! We try to move, and we find ourselves caught within the rays of light.